I like your action, baby. That's how it goes down. Hey, I got some news for y'all. Listen up. Welcome to the Bosox Bombas. Starting Justin Pombo and Peter Alves and Nick Carter. It's going down. Philthebeast style. Big Baller Brand is in the building, baby. And I'm trying to give y'all much love on the podcast. Bosox Bombas. Go! It's the real thing. Holla back. Big Baller's out, though. And I holla.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Bosox Bombas, starring me, Justin Pombo, Peter Alves, and Nick Carter. And today we have a special guest. Thank you so much for coming on. The critically acclaimed best worst poker player, according to his TikTok bio, he is here. Philthebeast. Welcome, welcome.
How's it going? Thank you guys for having me on. Pleasure to be here. I'm excited.
Legendary poker player right there. Pete's a big poker player, so we had to get this guy on for Pete.
Yeah, I'm a moderator here on TikTok Live, actually.
Yeah, he's big time. He's big time.
He's a big follower.
Absolutely. No, whenever I see Peter hop into streams, you know it's getting lit. No, he's a moderator. He's a beast. So, yeah,
He's a fanboy. Yeah, he sent us a message. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna have Philthebeast on." And I was like, "Oh, I've seen that guy. He's the poker guy, right?" He's like, "Yep." I was like, "Let it ride, let it ride."
Absolutely. You know? Yeah, that tends to be how a lot of people know me, is just poker guy TikTok. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you just going through TikTok Live at night, you just see like some kid playing poker. You're like, "Who's this?" So tell us a little bit about yourself before we dig deep into this.
Yeah, man. So right now I'm 23, from New Orleans, Louisiana, born there, lived there my whole life. Parents from there, all the rest. Then went to college up in New York, Fordham. I went in the Bronx. I basically wanted to go to the most un-New Orleans-y place I could possibly think of. New York kind of hits that mark, just to kind of experience it. New York's a place I probably wouldn't want to live for an extended period of time. So I wanted to knock that out during college when I had like get
it done with.
Yeah.
How was it?
Get it done with. Get like the experience there. I don't know, just to kind of fill my fancy, I guess.
So New York pizza is the best pizza, or?
I don't know, dude. I'm gonna be honest. I like Papa John's better than New York pizza, but I know, I'm not into all the, everyone's like, "Oh, it's good pizza." It's like, it's fine. I think it's okay.
Wow.
I don't know. But New York as a whole, it was enjoyable. And after college, I graduated in finance. So I worked in like finance throughout college. I did finance internships. I was in sales and trading, Deutsche Bank, was trying to stay on there. Didn't get a return offer junior year. Then went to another bank, BNY Mellon, and that was during COVID. So I accepted a job in Pittsburgh after college, and it was virtual. So they had me stay virtual.
Oh, shit.
And then, March of this year, they hit me with, "Oh, everyone's got to come back into the office." I'm sitting here in New Orleans. I'm enjoying New Orleans. I got my family, I got my friends here. I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to go to Pittsburgh, or I don't know anybody. Like, originally I was down, but it was kind of like, I'm not doing it. And so I didn't like the job either.
Yeah.
So I was like, I quit, and I ended up joining Poker News. So that's where I am right now. So going all in on the poker, and currently in New Orleans right now.
What's your favorite part of staying in New Orleans? The food, probably. Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Food's great. Mardi Gras is fun. It's a lot of fun. It's just, it's just like home for me. It was a really cool place to grow up, especially going through like high school and like college. Like for me, an equally as fun as going to college was coming back home for those like Christmas breaks and Thanksgiving breaks and stuff. And like New Orleans has a cool like going out scene, and being able to experience that.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's got a lot of culture. So part of that, and then also I just have so many memories here that it's just kind of got my heart. So
so
all my family's there too.
So you're a Saints fan and all that?
Huge Saints fan.
Yeah.
How are they gonna do?
I'm expecting them to do very well. Saints are always underplayed. I mean,
They are.
especially
That is
since
true.
Breeze left, everyone's just writes them off, and we have top players at almost every position. A top running back, top receiver, a top O line, top defense.
I think Jameis just got hurt though in practice.
I think he's probably fine. What was it today?
Yeah, Andy Dalton had to go into practice.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about all that. Whatever. I'll
breaking news here.
Jameis will be fine.
Conspiracy theory.
I love Jameis Winston, by the way. He's top 3 for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be a Jameis Winston hater, along with a lot of people. Florida State, he was kind of immature. A lot of people didn't like him.
Oh yeah, stealing crab legs.
Yeah, the crab legs at the grocery. He stood on the table, yelled stuff. And then he got drafted to the Bucs, and so I'm like, well, I can't root for division rival.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Marcus Mariota fan. So I was praying that Mariota didn't go to the Bucs because I wanted to be able to root for him. And then there it is. Now we have the Bucs QB, and now Mariota's in the Falcons. So it ended up.
You can't even root for him.
Yeah.
What's up?
So you can't even root for him.
Yeah, it's a mess, but I like Jameis now.
I love Jameis. There's a lot of picks, but he's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
We're
He got lazy guys.
Not so many picks anymore. Last year he had a great year. We're cutting down on the picks.
He beat us. We're all 3 of us are Patriots fans.
Ooh, nice. I'm sure that was a big shock.
We're all New England
fanboy, and now y'all don't know what to do.
Yeah,
but y'all
got
shook. Really quick rebound though.
I love Mac too, but we're all New England guys. Pete's a big Red Sox guy, and you said you lived in New York, well, for school, and I'm a big Yankees guy. So.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Baseball is something I never really followed because I'm from New Orleans, which doesn't have a team. Yeah. But
that's actually a crime. They don't have a team.
Yeah, we couldn't support a team though. We can barely support the Pelicans. We had good numbers throughout the playoffs, but our regular season, we don't have the support. We had a minor league team here. They ended up moving to Wichita just because, there was 20 people at each game. It's not a baseball city. It's gonna.
You want to rant on Zion real quick?
I'm really excited for Zion. Man, he top player in the league when we've seen him. So he's going to be dangerous. Pelicans have a very great future ahead of them. Brandon Ingram has a ceiling of a mid-level Kevin Durant type.
That's true.
He's very similar play style. He pulled out last year. I mean, we came just, steps away from advancing to the second round last year against the Suns, but
with no Zion.
I mean, they didn't have Booker for a big part.
He's a big body though.
Yeah. So
cut the pounds.
I like him better than when Anthony Davis was here. He's a little more, just a lot of excitement, a lot of unknowns.
Yeah. He hasn't played much either, so you're still excited for that too.
Right. It's his rookie year next year. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah. I'm a big Zion guy. I loved him in Duke, dude. I followed him through high school. I've been on the Zion wave. And then I actually was happy he went to the Pelicans.
Yeah.
I did not want him to go on the Knicks because, I don't know.
Sure. The Knicks are terrible.
Yeah. I'd rather have him on the Pellies. I like that. That's a good squad.
Yeah, I mean, when they asked him, he said the Madison Square Garden was his favorite place to play. He said aside from New Orleans, but we all know that just means it's his favorite place to play.
Yeah. Other than you being a St. Louis, no, my fault. New Orleans. I was thinking the Saints, but other than that, you're big into poker. Like you said, you're on the poker news. What do you do for that? You write? Do you?
Yes.
We know, but explain to the audience.
Right. So it's very fresh. It's kind of all new, but I really leveraged my TikTok account, which is crazy. I'm sure we'll talk about that more, to get this job. And I kind of, with poker, the poker industry, it's so, excuse the clock going off in the background. It's so small. It's not deep at all. So, from head to toe, there's not many people who work in poker.
Yeah.
The first taste I got of working in poker, working for Poker News, was this summer. So when I quit my job, my boss, the person I was interviewing with, just hit me with hey, come out for the World Series. Look, you come for the World Series, live here in Vegas, and let's do it, 2 months. And I was like, wow, okay. So I was like, you know what? I got nothing to lose. I when I was virtual for my bank, I was living with my parents. So I'm like eager to move out anyway. And I'm like, Vegas, like living there, like, let's do it. So moved there. What I did there and what I'll continue to be doing is working at different tournaments and doing like, I'm like a presenter. So I go around, talk to players, interview them, do certain skits where I'll, let's ask everybody what their favorite hand's nickname is or something. Talk to a bunch of people, and then we'll do specific things with more well-known players over the summer. I was able to interview people like Scott Seaver and Elliot Les, just like big names that are at the World Series. So a mixture of that whenever I'm at tournaments. And then at home, what I'm going to start doing for like the job that I do when I'm not traveling is I'm going to be creating short form content for Poker News. So if you're curious where you can find this content, YouTube, Instagram, it's on there, and potentially TikTok. But yeah, short form content's kind of taking over the game right now. So every company's trying to get their hands on, being big in the short form game. So I'm excited to be doing it with Poker News. It's a cool company so far, cool experience this summer. And, I'm just starting out, but it's been great.
Who's your favorite person to like interview?
Favorite person to interview? I think that whereas a lot of people this summer were trying to rush to try to talk to this person real quick, interview them. I'm planning on being in this game for a while, so I wasn't trying to force any. I was able to talk the people who I would most want to interview. For me, it's Phil Hellmuth. Would love to interview him. Yeah, for obvious reasons. But just there's a lot of top pros that the majority of the poker fans don't know. So poker's really weird. When I first started at Poker News, they go, okay, so really there's only about 7 or 8 guys in poker that the average person knows about. Like those are the only people that'll get clicks, which is kind of a weird concept. It's like that no other sport's like that, where it's like there's only 7 or 8 people that people know, So if you ask the average person about, tell me a poker player, they'll say I have no idea. If Daniel Negreanu walked through the streets of Times Square, he wouldn't go recognized. Like he would go completely unrecognized. That's sort of the nature of the beast. So for me, I've been following poker for a while. Basically any of those top guys that I see on the shows, Scott Seaver was big for me. I loved interviewing him. Jason Mercier, people like that, all of them, it's really just blows me away. So I would say any of the top guys.
Yeah, I've seen you in the background of Daniel's vlogs, actually, when he was vlogging during the SOP.
Yeah. He would be walking around the casino with the vlogging thing, and it'd be like, oh, try to run in the background and try to get in there quickly. So that was
2 seconds of fame right there, right?
Yeah, 2 seconds of fame. A lot of people follow that vlog. So, look for me at the 18-minute and 43-second one.
No, why did you choose poker over blackjack or roulette or baccarat?
Yeah, so do any of you guys besides Peter play poker?
No.
I play very little bit, but not as much. I
don't know.
Okay. So do you guys gamble at all?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, for me, it really kind of, in 2019, how it started was I was at my friend's house. I feel like everybody kind of plays poker when they're younger with their cousins or their siblings, playing for aunties, playing on some set you buy at, Walmart for $10 or something.
You play it for food.
Yeah. Everyone put a gummy worm or a Skittle or whatever. Skittles are 5 cents. Yeah. So, everyone kind of does that. But, when I was 18 and I really realized, okay, I know nothing about poker. I thought I knew how to play. I know a flush beats a straight. I knew that, 1 pair, 2 pair. I knew the rankings, but I didn't really know much beyond that. And so we were just chilling in my friend's room, and he had on the World 2019 final table. So this was my sophomore year of college. And I was just like, what is this? I'd seen it on ESPN. Whenever I'd see the World Series of Poker on ESPN, it'd always be like, like, screw this. Like, I want to be able to watch something else entertaining, not the World Series of Poker. It'd always be a letdown. But I actually sat down and watched this, and I was just like, this is wild. He won the 10 million top prize. And so we literally went into his dining room. It was 4 of us, and we're like, all right, let's sit down and like, let's play this thing. And he had already kind of been looking at it for a few weeks. And so we started getting it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go home. I went home, binged YouTube, started watching Daniel Negreanu hype compilations. And I'm like, whoa, like, this is sick. And after that, there's a bunch of poker shows from like the early 2000s, the big game, high stakes poker. I started watching those, kind of learning strategy. And I just got hooked, kind of like you would any game. What appeals to me about poker, and what appeals to pretty much everyone who plays it over other gambling games, is it is the one casino game that you do not play against the casino. You don't play against the house. You're playing against other players, and the casino's just hosting it. All they're doing is hosting games, take a percentage of it. And it's a game that has professional players who make a living playing the game, who have a definite edge against them. So yeah, it's just like, I was like, of course, like when I first hear it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to beat this thing. It's going to be so easy, stuff like that. It's surprising at how, like, not easy, but how doable it is to make money, because the competition at casinos you'll go to is pretty soft, that if you just have a pretty solid understanding of poker, you look at it for a few months, you can go and you can have a definite edge at these casinos. Because a lot of the guys that you're playing against are throwing around money. They're drunk. They, are tourists. And yeah, day I turned 21, I went to a casino in upstate Louisiana. Me and my friend drove 6 hours, because this was during COVID, and all the casinos were closed. I turned 21 in March of 2020. So right when it
peak COVID.
Peak COVID, right?
That's peak,
And right when the casinos opened, like, there was first casino to open was in May, and it was like upstate, 5-hour drive. So we drove down there. I went, first time I ever played, I won $1,000. Wow. I remember coming home, my parents were like, how much you win? I'm like, 1,000. And it was just like, best thing to ever happen to me, or the worst thing to ever happen to me.
Yeah.
We'll see. But so far, like, 100% set me up for just this addiction of poker. And yeah, I just got hooked. I got hooked. After that, I'm playing every night. What I stream on TikTok, it's like, I'll stream like 10-cent 25s, like very low stake stuff. In college, all I was doing from sophomore year to senior year, just playing 2-cent, 5-cent Bovada. Like, we'd put it on the TV, like, my friends would be behind me. Like, we thought it was the most fun thing. So yeah, it's just a game that I can't get enough of. You mentioned blackjack and stuff. As far as playing perfect strategy, the edge is like, you're just reducing the house edge, and then you get into activity that's like semi frowned upon when it comes to counting cards, and people start edge sorting and stuff. Poker, if you're winning at a high rate, it's not frowned upon at all. You're just crushing the game.
Yeah.
And so it's a little more gratifying than something like blackjack, which is a lot harder to beat than poker. But the thing is, you can't play blackjack, and like, when people tell me, oh, I like playing blackjack, it's like, well, you don't play blackjack every single night like I've been playing poker. If I played blackjack every single night in college, I might have had to drop out of college.
Yeah. There's no skill, really. It's just, there's skill. It's just luck of the hand, kind of,
Yeah.
How do you deal with like the fatigue? Because sometimes when I play, I get so card dead, and then like orbits, you just get no cards, and you're just like, what the hell? And you're just like,
I am so entertained by even just watching my opponents play a hand that, like, if I go to the casino and play, I'll never bring along earphones that you'll see a lot of people do, because I'm just enjoying every second of watching other people play. I played last night. I play at the Harrah's New Orleans casino by my house, and every time I go in there, I'm just a kid in a candy store right when I walk into that casino. And it's just, yeah, it's, I can't get, I don't get fatigued. This summer, when I was working in Vegas, I worked like 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. shifts. And right after 1 a.m., 1:30 hits, I'm like, I'm going to Caesars and I'm going to sit down until 5 in the morning. Many nights I took the bus back to my apartment in daylight, and weird feeling, but it's just, something about the game. I just can't get enough of it.
That's what I did for my 21st birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah. It's, yeah.
Pete, did you win $1,000 your first time?
I wish. That's probably pretty bad. If like I won $1,000 right off the rip, I would be like, wow, this game is so easy, and just expect that every time and not get whacked for whatever.
Right. And like I won that 1,000, and then so I started playing at Harris. First 4 or 5 times I went to Harris, I went bust. So I lost that 1,000 I'd gained within the month. And I remember being on the phone with my girlfriend, right? My girlfriend's back I met her up at school, so we're long distance. And I'm on the phone with her being like, look, this past week's horrible. I lost like 800, but like, this is my plan. Like, I'm going to drive Uber Eats and I'm going to wait until I get $200 like of revenue from doing that. And then I'm just going to use that as my buy-in, as if to trying to convince her and myself, like I'm working for the money that I'm putting down. So like, I'm not addicted because I'm working for it. So that was like, an experimental phase when I was like I would literally, I'd do 2 days straight of Uber Eats, get $200, boom, straight to the casino, put it down, 1-2, lose it, do the same thing the next day. It was a wild time.
Is that what you usually play, 1-2? Because I'm way too scared to play 2-5.
Yeah, I only, so a lot of it's 1-3 now. The one by my house is 1-3. So essentially 1-2. But yeah, the only time I've ever played 2-5 is when I was in there by accident. And then I was like, wait, you should give me, I need more change back. And they're like, this is 2-5, buddy. I'm like, oh.
Well, I sat down. Yeah, I sat down at Foxwoods, the one near our place, and I sat down at like a 10-20, and they're like, they looked at me because obviously I'm a young kid. They're like, this is a 10-20, right? I'm like, oh shit. No.
Yeah, that's not ideal. Maybe in a few years or whatever, but not within my bankroll right now.
So what's your favorite hand?
I always tell people when they ask me that, I always tell them Jack 10 suited is my favorite, but my favorite hand's aces. Most people's favorite hand is aces. They're lying if they say, it's cute to have like a favorite hand that's not aces, but at the end of the day, looking down at aces, you're like, booyah. It's like, how much am I going to win this time? A lot of times you end up losing, but it's just like, I got it. You have the best hand, at least at that point, and that's a very nice realization.
What's your least favorite hand? My least favorite hand's like A6, A7, because like I always get
I've always said ace. You're right. A7, A6. Those are my least favorite. They call A6 the 7 deuce of aces because it's the worst ace you're gonna get. A6. It's just you're not dominating many other aces and you can't hit any draws, so it's a disaster. So definitely that hand.
I know some people keep a track of like their wins and losses per trip. Do you do that as well?
Nick, that's the only way I can do it, because if I didn't do that, I'd go insane. I really would. If I lose a big session, my favorite coping mechanism is going into the sheet where I keep track of everything and writing it down, because I know that I'm not losing money that I can't have, right? Or that I don't have. So yeah, last year I kept track, went up like 2,000, which was amazing for my first year. Like nothing crazy, but it was a positive within the thousands, like awesome. This year I'm at like 1,700 for the year so far. So we're like halfway through. Vegas, I played probably 30 times in Vegas and I ended up the trip up $20. So like truly a break-even session for me in Vegas, which I was for sure happy with. All it takes is, 3 or 4 just bad sessions of you running bad. That's all it takes. And boom, you're down $1,200. And so that's why you got to have like a big bankroll to play this. Like if you're like, I have $1,000, I'm going to play poker with it. you could be the best player in the world, and a four buy and downswing, that is like completely normal. So you have to be able to withstand the downswing.
Do we even do that with your streams too? Do you keep track of those too?
No, I don't keep track of the streams. The streams
are
fun. Yeah, they're like I'm doing a lot of unorthodox plays too. Also, like the competition on those is like a lot harder than anything I'll do in person. Like micro stakes online poker is harder than 1-2 at a casino. Like 10 cent, 20 cent online is harder than $1, $3 at a casino. And the sites that we have to play on, or I have to play on, are unregulated sites. So the sites I'm talking about, Bovada, America's Card Room, these are all based overseas. And so you can gamble on them legally, except it's unregulated. So there might be a ton of bots, that you're playing against. Sometimes you'll be on America's Card Room, and the 4 players, it's like from the Russian Federation. It's like, okay, these are all just bots. So you got to be aware of that. And then, people can easily look up online poker solvers and what's the best play to make. They call that real-time assistance, which is illegal, but these sites can't enforce it. So a lot of times you're playing against people who are making the plus EV play every time. It's very hard to beat. As far as people wanting to play online poker, though, those are some of the best sites we have, and you can win money on those sites. It's just I don't value it enough to keep track of it.
And do you are you afraid of getting stream sniped? Is that why you play like blitz and stuff?
No, so for those unaware, I play a style of poker online where when you fold, you get immediately put at a new table. So there is no waiting. So if you're watching my stream, fold, okay, new hand, fold, new hand, play this hand, okay, it's over, new hand. So there's no dead time of you waiting to watch the other people play. The reason I play that is because the viewers love constant action. Like it's very, very good for a stream to watch that. So yeah, there's people stream sniping me, but that's part of the reason I also play 10 cent, 20 cent. Like, sure, take my $4 on this hand, and I'm streaming. So I'm I always joke, like I'm giving back to the community here. Like I'm fine with doing that.
Like that's why would ruin my live game, because like I would fold a hand and it'd be like, oh, I'm not getting moved.
Yeah. It's a whole different style of poker. People comment all the time, like, you're not playing poker. And I'm like, well, I'm playing zone poker. It's like, whatever. People always have something to say.
You're going to move to Twitch? Cause I know you have a Twitch, but.
No. Maybe down the line in some forms, but right now, TikTok's algorithm is just so overpowered. Like, we're talking about me who streams 5 cent, 10 cent on occasion. Literally, just, I'll have $8 in my stack. And I'll be able to rack in 300, 400, 500 viewers, people just watching me play, which when you think about it, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, that is.
And with TikTok, once you go live, they just send your stream out and it'll be crazy. I will go live and boom, within 1-2 minutes, I have 300, 400 people in there. It's just me appearing on people's For You page.
Yeah.
That's how I found you in the first.
That's how I saw you.
Yeah, it's like something about my TikTok is, if you really look at it, it's not overly like advanced stuff, like not the best camera quality on my stuff, not like well thought out videos. A lot of the edits I do, some blurry pictures, stuff like that. I literally when did I start making these? Right after, at the end of senior year of college, right after I graduated, I came here. I'm literally making videos on my mom's kitchen table, right? Like just making videos. I have a deck of cards. I have poker chips that I got from Walmart. And I'm making videos of me like mouthing lyrics to songs and boom, with like terrible, quality, and me with like a deck of cards. And early on, I just get 2.5 million views on like the 6th or 7th video I posted. And I remember I was playing golf with my friend and I'm like, dude, my TikTok is going crazy. These people are following me. Like, these guys are following me. Like, why are they following me? And then boom, after that one post got me like 7,000, 8,000 followers. And then I remember telling him, I'm like, I am going to keep posting and grow this account. And after that day, I posted like 2 to 3 times a day. And I've been doing that for like a year and a half. And the poker on TikTok is not saturated, is like so undersaturated that right now, if one of you guys posted 3 poker TikToks every single day for a year and a half, you'd have 20,000 followers. I'm sure of it. If not, very close.
We get a job at Poker News.
Get on that, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's honestly crazy. Like, especially this summer, I would have people coming up to me almost every day in the casino at Las Vegas, like, oh, dude, what's going on? Like, I was at the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas. I went to one of the games and I had one guy scream at me from across the way, like, Phil, like, can I get a picture? And I'm like, what in the world? Like, it's a very it's a very small community, this whole poker community, but within poker TikTok, especially, which there are good people on there now, like, I'm pretty known on it, which is like,
yeah,
insane to me. Like that. And that is just a product of me making videos on my mom's kitchen table and me streaming $10 buy-ins. If you look at my stream quality too, like, I don't like screen record or anything. I have my phone, I'm holding it in front and like, you can see like the keyboard and like behind. It's like not very like a good setup, but it just still works. It's just poker content. People like it and it gets the job done. So,
hey, it's a comedy, man, too.
Yeah,
on all the people on the streams.
That's part of it. I definitely I play like a character in the streams. Someone like, it's poker especially. So poker is a game where you can always call a play bad. So if you're watching your friend play, if he loses a hand, no matter what happened, you can always say that was bad. So if he folds and doesn't call, you can easily be like, you should have called, dude. He bluffed you. We don't know if he bluffed him. You can say that. If he calls and loses, you can just say, oh, that's a horrible call. You should have folded. Well, like, okay, yes, thank you. So the entire stream is just, a bunch of people being like, you're trash at poker. Like, you suck. You should have called. You should have folded. You should have raised. And I don't have any defense to that because you're right. I don't know what they had. You don't know what we had. You might be right. You might be wrong. So at a certain point, you just got to give the most sarcastic responses and just kind of play into it because poker community can be very toxic at times. It's an ego battle too. Poker attracts a certain type of person, and that type of person tends to be like very cocky, feels like they can beat the game, like confident in their own plays to where it creates a little bit of hostility. Yeah.
You ever get in a fight at a table?
No.
Not an actual physical fight, but like a chirp battle, back and forth?
Not personally, no. When I first started, I had a tough time like handling beats. Like if the guy like made a bad call and won the hand, there were a couple times when I would bust out. He'd stack me for $300 and I should have won. Right, I had like a 85% chance to win, and he called and he won. And at a certain point, I would have made comments when I first started, like, "You're really gonna calm me down with that, man?" And then leave. But that was just my ego getting into it. Now you have to understand that these people who are calling you when you have an 85% chance to win, that is very good. And you should not discourage that type of play. And, that's how you're able to make money over time is when they call you. So, dude, I mean, poker is just, it's a wild game that you just have to think long run. You have to think long run. If you have 85% chance to win, you're gonna lose that 15% of the time, and you have to be totally okay with that.
Because I know how I've been watching YouTube compilations when they go back and forth and stuff when they have the sunglasses on and just chirping each other. I love that.
Philthebeast with a T.
Yeah, they just chirp back and forth. It's so funny.
Does he do that for like a character, or is he just like that in real life?
They say that's how he is. That is how he is.
Sounds
Which,
crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy that somebody can be playing poker for, 40 years and still they get upset when like they haven't gotten used to it. Have
And
not
he's won
gotten
all the money in the world, like 15-time bracelet or whatever it is.
and you still are getting upset when they hit a river card on you. It just doesn't change.
So now poker's been around for one of the longest sports of all time. Like, do you think it's ever going to die out, or do you think it's just going to continue with the legacy?
That's a good question. So there was the poker boom in 2003. So the World Series of Poker in the 70s, there was about like 8 people who played, like 4 or 5 people in the first couple ones. And then slowly got a little bit more. 2003, Chris Moneymaker wins the main event. Boom. Everybody joins in. They realize that, okay, poker, you don't have to be a pro to win the whole thing. You can just be an average guy and you have a chance to, eliminate some of the best players in the world. And you have a chance to play with some of the best players in the world. No other sport can you just join its biggest tournament and go and sit next to its greatest player of all time. And beat him and have a good chance of beating him too. So that really attracted a lot of people. And this World Series, we had the second most people enter the main event ever, behind 2006. So it's on the up and up again. It's a great game. I would say the one thing that may halt it is the use of solvers. Now that we have mapped out poker, computers have beaten the game and stuff, it makes it a lot easier for people to cheat, and it makes it very formulaic. Like during the tournaments, sometimes it'll be like a guy will make a bad play and he'll immediately be like, oh, I need to look this up if I should have called this shove with 18 big blinds. Like, and that's kind of not how poker is. Like, it's not really fun for a lot of people to think of it like a math game. Like there's math to it, but that takes a lot of the fun out of it. So as long as that can not really take hold of poker, I think we'll be good. But yeah, I expect it to be growing for the indefinite future.
Or you could be like Mike Postel and just kill it completely and just cheat on your phone.
Or you could cheat on your phone, which I don't recommend. Don't recommend that. He's I don't think he's in jail or anything right now, but he's
probably banned everywhere.
Work out for him. Doesn't work out for him.
Wait, he just pulled out his phone?
Yeah, he was getting like relayed, I think, right?
Yeah, he had his phone between his legs and he was apparently like getting texts from the host of the live stream that he was on. The host could see everybody's cards. And apparently the host texted him every hand what everybody else had. And so you'd see him make some very like weird plays that you wouldn't make if you didn't know exactly what the other player had. So he denied everything, of course, but I urge anyone listening to look up Mike Postel cheating scandal. It's very, very interesting to see a guy think he can, get away being recorded on a live stream and still cheat the system. It's a pretty wild story.
Wow, that's actually that's bold. That's bold.
Yes.
Have you ever played on a table with any celebrities or any iconic figures?
So the only one that I would say is in that category is over the summer. We had our media tournament. It was like a free roll tournament. Anyone who worked in media could play. And about 100 people entered. Vince Vaughn was in the tournament. So
oh, really?
He didn't sit at my table, unfortunately, but he was at the seat right behind me. So like I could turn around and touch him, right? And so I was able to, sit next to him for a little bit, talk to him briefly. He seemed like a really cool guy. Fortunately, never got to play at a table directly with him because he got eliminated. I ended up winning that tournament, first ever and only live tournament to date, against all the media people of the World Series. I somehow won. I won an iPad and like a bunch of other like merch stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But not too many celebrities and stuff playing the 1-2, 1-3 low stakes games at casinos.
Yeah.
If they do come and play, they're going to play some of the higher buying games that I won't be playing just yet.
So are you playing any World Series next year?
That's the question. It's like, when am I going to decide to play the main event for the first year? So it's a $10,000 buy-in. I probably next year am like,
Well,
I'm
I'm not
definitely
saying that. You play like the Colossus or something. That's like $400.
Yeah, no, I for sure am going to try to play some events next year. As far as bucket list goes, I do kind of want to play the main event, but yeah, next year I want to do they have $400 buy-in. I definitely want to do that. I don't think I'm going to spend 2 months in Vegas next year. I might. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I definitely want to go for a little bit. I'll probably want to go to the World Series a little bit every year, just for a little while. Play an event. If I'm with Poker News, I'll probably be reporting on the main event again. So I expect to be back there at the very least for the main event, cover that. So yeah, I plan on playing these tournaments for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that would be cool because if I'm watching the World Series and you're on, I'll be like, that guy was on my podcast.
I mean, it's just like something I'll dream about all the time. It's just imagine winning the main event and then just hold like that is definitely, it would be a surreal moment for anybody. And winning a World Series of Poker bracelet would be super, super cool.
Pete, you have any other questions for him?
I mean, your favorite question ever. When are we playing Heads Up?
Yeah, exactly, right? Man.
No, I'm just kidding.
Poker is, again, a very weird game. If you played against the best player in the world Heads Up, you'd have a good chance to beat him. So it's like, as much as I like playing fans and stuff, like when you play Heads Up for an hour, it's really just like who got cooler the most in that hour. That's kind of what it comes down to, unless you're not playing a lot. So I've played a few people. I played like 4 people, 3-1. I'm in no rush because when I do Heads Up, it's just a free roll. So like I risk 100, but the other person doesn't risk anything.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oh, so like the people I beat, I don't get $100 from them. I would feel weird doing that. Yeah. But yeah, dude, a lot of people have been asking me to play. I should start doing that more. When I play my next few games, you'll definitely be at the top of the list.
I'll bet.
We'll get it going. We'll for sure play one. So I'll be doing it for a bit. So you'll definitely get a game in. I do want to play you. I think that would be a lot of fun. So it's gonna happen.
Sweet.
Yeah. There you go, Pete. Fanboy over there.
Right.
All right. Carter, you have any other questions for him?
I don't think so. I mean, it's been a pleasure though.
Yeah,
man. Dude, I urge you guys, y'all gotta watch. Just give yourself an hour or two, go on YouTube and watch some of these poker videos and just like tickle your fancy a little bit, because I've met very few of my friends that we've taught poker and that haven't like latched onto it. It's definitely a certain personality type. Like you got to be a certain person to play poker, have certain interests. You'll see it's mainly guys, it's less women. So it's like it's a certain personality, but if you like it, it'll change your life. It'll be one of your favorite games. So I urge, and everybody listening, give it a shot. It's a whole hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we'll have to grab that round table out, get some pretzels, and just start betting.
Absolutely. Yes.
We'll have to hold a tournament, a Bosox Bombas tournament. Have Philthebeast host it.
Absolutely. I'll be down.
There you go. Yeah, so shout out Phil. Thank you so much for coming on, dude. Plug your shit, please.
Yeah, man. So Philthebeast, one word. I'm currently expanding everywhere. So TikTok, that's my main thing. Hit me up there. Twitter and Instagram, it ends with an underscore. So Philthebeast and then an underscore. Follow me there. A lot of fun, insight to come. I want to start doing cool stuff this year. I have a bunch of ideas. So follow me there and experience the journey with me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We'll definitely have to have you back on.
Absolutely, man.
Perfect
pleasure.
Personality. Pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure.
It was great.
But thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys follow him on all platforms. We'll link all the platforms in the Spotify description, all the Apple Podcast description. It'll be linked in the Instagram as well. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Phil, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.